Hey folks, David Stewart here. I was just thinking about something, which is that I don't really play video games as much as I used to play them. And I wanted to think about that. And the really obvious answer that immediately came to me when I stopped and thought, like, I'm not playing as many video games as I used to. The really obvious answer is that I am busy. I'm a really, really busy guy. I have a young child still in diapers. That takes time. Takes time to pay attention to a child. I have two careers that I deal with full time. I'm a teacher, and then I have a writing career. I write books, and I make YouTube videos, and that keeps me really, really busy. But as I thought a little bit more deeply about it, I kind of realized that that's not the entire answer because my interest in games started to wane before my son was born. When I looked back and realized this, and I'm trying to avoid saying like, well, maybe I just have a bias towards what I'm familiar with him. I have a bias towards the older stuff. And what I kind of realized is that maybe I do, but my feeling was I stopped being interested in games because they stopped delivering to me the experience that I wanted to. And when I sat down and played games, I found myself playing older games. Like I'd sit down and play Morrowind or I'd play Oblivion, and maybe even Skyrim was the last like really big AAA title that came out that I really really enjoyed. And even then, I was aware of its flaws and used mods to like make the game a little bit more RPG-y, I guess. And so what I started thinking was kind of I think the gameplay of games has gotten worse over the years. I think games have actually gotten worse, and that's a big reason why I'm not super interested in them anymore, especially AAA games. I've had a lot of satisfying experiences with some indie titles, but I find myself buying a lot of games and then playing them once or twice and then going like, I bought Watch Dogs when like my PS4 came out, and I was completely bored by it. I thought it was just awful, and I remember not thinking, oh, this is awful. I'm just like, this is boring, and I didn't play it. I feel like the quality of games has actually gone down in the gameplay department. I think gameplay's gotten more simplified. I remember seeing this sort of starting with Call of Duty, where I remember playing Call of Duty. I'm like, this is like Doom, but really slow. I remember thinking that with like the first or second game, and it's only kind of gone from there. And maybe that's the dominance of the console market, right? Like consoles really dominated the gaming market in the PS3, Xbox 360 era, and kind of aiming with your thumbs is really slow and cumbersome. So they slowed the game down to match that particular playstyle. I remember in Crisis there were controller-only rooms because it was considered a huge disadvantage to use a controller. So just that input device ended up negatively affecting the way that I wanted to interact with that particular genre of games. I wanted them to be kind of twitchy and fast and exciting and sort of visceral, and they've become a kind of a slower experience and just an experience that I don't really like. I don't like Call of Duty, and that's sort of that success then kind of spills over into other things. So I've watched a lot of my favorite games get dumbed down over the years. Even Skyrim, which I really enjoy, is really dumbed down compared to Oblivion. And it really is if you have played those older Elder Scrolls games, particularly 3 and 4, Morrowind and Oblivion. It's not that Skyrim's a bad game. It looks great. The act of playing the game is really pretty good. The quests and the NPCs are a lot of fun. The lore is still there, and it's fun to interact with the world. So all the core gameplay elements of Elder Scrolls are there, but the RPG elements end up being kind of stripped out. Where you level up and you pick like, oh, do I want health or stamina? I guess I'll take health, rather than leveling up and getting like particular attributes and having to manage the RPG system to a greater extent like you had to in Oblivion, or in Morrowind, having to really select what kind of major skills you wanted to pursue to make your character a particular way. I felt like that was just kind of lost from Skyrim. And I remember Mass Effect getting dumbed down, where it went from a game about managing this big RPG system and having cover-based shooters that kind of use that to being kind of a game of find the ammo after every single wave of mobs, kill them all, go find the ammo, get ready for the next wave of mobs. And I just remember feeling that like that was a huge step backwards. And I kind of felt that with like game after game after game. All the Dragon Age games just like feel like they're getting less and less fun to play. And that's saying something because Dragon Age 2 was bad. But Dragon Age Inquisition was so boring, and I didn't want to play it, and I forced myself to play like 15, almost 20 hours of this game before I'm just like, I don't enjoy this. I'm not going to keep playing it. And that's sort of what I realized is that, yeah, my life takes up a lot of my time, but that's not why I'm not playing. I'm not playing because the games are not delivering the experience I want them to deliver anymore. And it's pretty rare that I even feel that experience. World of Warcraft has been really dumbed down. Elder Scrolls Online is a fun game, but the RPG systems are pretty minimal compared to other games like EverQuest. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Please let me know what you think about modern gaming. I realize that things are pretty. Another thing you could talk about too is like the 30 FPS, 60 FPS thing that's like dinosaur age now. But I'm tired of games that are like, oh well, we really want the detail of the sweat on his cheek. And it's like, yeah, but I really want to be able to see what's happening without a bunch of choppy nonsense. So that's another thing. It's like, I feel like the games don't look better, but they play worse. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. You guys let me know what you think down below. I'm always appreciative of your company. And tell me what good games are out right now that I should play and that I could actually, complete within a reasonable amount of time, and I'll check them out. I realize I've been kind of out of gaming for quite a while, even though I have some popular gaming videos on the channel. But I appreciate it. You guys have a great day.